falling again. I try to stand up, my back on the wall. No place to hide. Seems like there's no way out of myself. Underneath, I'm calling for one more chance to believe. Burning down all the lies, I'll grow stronger, safe and last. Underneath, yeah.
Yo, this is Brandon from the MMO Game Reviews. So I've been telling people that I was gonna start an MMO game review, mainly because I do a lot of MMO gaming. Besides that, I also play tennis, but that's besides the point. So today we're gonna be talking about Perfect World International, the game that started it all in Beijing, China, in 2005. Now, over in 2007, Korea had also gotten a release on Perfect World, and lastly, America. And that was in 2008, and they released the international version for multiple countries to play in. And we'll be talking about some of the pros and cons about the game. I'm a strong fan of Perfect World, and I'm not going to be biased. I'm going to give you my true facts about it and what I truly see in the game, besides being a fan of the game. Okay, well, now, like I said on my channel, I judge things by interface ease, graphics, technology utilization, such as how good is the game by the standards of what technology they have available. So that kind of stuff. Like-ability, of course, everyone needs to know how much you'll actually enjoy playing the game. Game length, as far as how long can you play it with playability that's actually still fun. Replayability, like how much does it want you to play again? Like, would it actually make you play again, or is it one of those games where you play it and you don't like it and you're never gonna play it again? And then also the community, because the community is a big difference, because you have the forums, things like that, and you need to know if people are going to be helpful or not, because having people that aren't helpful definitely isn't something that you want. So we'll start with interfaces of Perfect World. Now, Perfect World was one of my first MMORPGs, actually. I actually tried the Chinese one. My friend had actually made an account for me because he could translate it and stuff. And so when I first originally played it, I thought the interface was not bad. And being it like my first MMO, I wasn't really sure what to do. But it was easy enough for a person like me who first started playing MMORPGs to actually... Okay, well, so I got cut off. Guess my card was full, so... as I was saying, the interface is super easy. I mean, enough that I, as a new person to MMORPGs, could actually figure it out. Now we'll talk about the graphics. Well, one thing that they did claim about Perfect World was that the graphics is really good. And, I'm one of those people where graphics can be a big difference to me. I'm not one of those people that like to stare at, semi-2D games that have a 3D look to it, I need to have some visual, attraction to it. And actually, Perfect World did offer that to me, and I was very surprised about the graphics that it did offer, and the fact that, they used the graphics to its ultimate performance, and they also had lower specs in order, to enable people with less good, computers to play. Mainly that was because in China, they didn't necessarily have, not everyone had the money to, have a good computer. So in order to have a lot of people as part of the community, they needed to have graphics that, people could, handle on any type of system. So that was definitely a good thing. Technology utilization. Well, I have to say that for the time, from 2005 to 2008, they utilized the technology as far as a free MMO company could go. Of course, they still have the cash shop that allows them to, work on the game, even off, having people, pay to play. Because most pay to plays are usually paying for the server use. I mean, you can't really have a server unless it's held up by someone. So usually that's what the case is. But they used a lot of the money wisely and put into the technology that makes it a enjoyable game. So, and that's also about likability. The likability, I liked it a lot, but I felt that it lacked a little bit of content after 90. And so originally I played on a normal server of Perfect World. Actually, that was Lost City, and I'd gotten to level 70, and I realized that, it still had a lot of fun. They had what was called the Twilight Temple, which you could access once you were 60 plus, and you could, team up with people and go through a huge, dungeon. It was pretty fun, actually. I did a lot of that. I had a lot of fun. But later on, once I got to level 90, I found that there were less and less things for me to do, and it was repetitive grinding, and I wasn't really sure if it was worth my time, because they were giving you EXP, like requirements that were almost unreachable, like a couple million experience points. And I mean, granted, the creatures gave you a lot of experience, but it just didn't seem like it was gonna be all that interesting if I just grinded all the time. Now, one thing about it, though, that would make me want to replay this game, which I still occasionally do, is the faction wars. Now, faction wars are wars between, different, pretty much guilds, but we call them factions. And it's almost like a first-person shooter, sort of, like, if you're an archer like me. It was pretty interesting, because it was pretty much, like, player versus player, like, hard-on combat. It was actually pretty fun. Close to, like, 80 people per, like, team, and it was a huge battle. Only thing about it was really laggy, so I had to turn everything to the lowest, and that was pretty crazy. So, replayability is definitely really good in the game. And lastly, community. Now, the community, I'd say, was probably one of the better things, too, because when the game first came out for International, they didn't have what was called the automatic NPC routing. So now the game, nowadays, if you play it, actually has a icon for each, person that you go to, and it'll automatically track you there. So, but they didn't have that before. So the community was good enough that people would find the place, and they would mark down the coordinates, and if someone had a question about it, they'd give them the exact coordinates, and you just type it into your character's, search, like, pretty much coordinates, and it'll just lead you there. So it was pretty easy through that. But other than that, I thought the community was really good, so community was definitely a 10. Well, I hope you guys liked the video, and so that's pretty much the whole overview of Perfect World, and yeah, I definitely think it's a good game, so check it out. It's worth your time, trust me. Even though it might be like 4 gigs right now from the new expansion, it's definitely worth it. So, yup. Later, guys. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope you guys stay tuned, because I will have more videos up and coming. Alright, later, guys.